The task force activities are therefore legal and need to be sustained. Whereas media reports allege that the incident of the confrontation between the multinational joint task force and the Boko Haram terrorists occurred on April 19, 2013. The incident actually occurred on Tuesday, April 16. On April 17, the multinational joint task force troops carried out mop-up operations at the scene of the attack and recovered the following items abandoned by the fleeing Boko Haram terrorists: rocket-propelled grenade launchers, rocket-propelled grenade bombs, AK-47 rifles, assorted ammunition, several improvised explosive devices, and damaged Land Cruiser jeeps.
Well, staying with the response to insecurity, the federal government may have to explore strategies other than the use of force to tackle the nation's security problems. Well, this was the view of participants at a pre-May Day Centenary Forum in Abuja. They say that measures currently being implemented are cosmetic and ineffective. Our correspondent Amaka Okafor reports.
Participants at this symposium on the 100 years of Nigeria as a nation cuts across the political class, technocrats, the academia, and Nigerian workers. The focus at this gathering is on the various challenges of nationhood. Experts say the fiscal insecurity challenges being witnessed in the country is from a build-up of economic, political, and infrastructural insecurity.
The current fire brigade approach will not take us long. I think we need to go back to the table and develop what I generally call national security policy and strategy, and then factor in the economic, political, social, military, police, and other dimensions or pillars of security.
On his part, human rights lawyer Femi Falana took a swipe at the government for continuing to make budgetary provisions for outlaws to carry out the job of the police.
Some heads of militant groups have been given a billion naira contract to monitor pipelines, the job for the police. The OPC is now negotiating for 2 billion naira contract to monitor pipelines in the southwest. Very soon, MASOB will be qualified for pipeline contracts monitoring in the southeast. But when you leave the instrumentalities of the state, the police, and you give out the jobs of the police to those who have been outlawed by the state, it is part of the security crisis in our country.
The government, however, says it is a listening government and would ensure that the recommendations from the symposium will be used by government for the good of Nigerians.
This symposium will produce useful suggestions that will help government take necessary decisions and actions in her determined effort to achieve total transformation of the economic, political, and social spheres of our national life.
How to right the wrongs of the last 100 years to bring about a better Nigeria remains the concerns of all Nigerians. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, has advocated a collective approach to tackling the issue of insecurity in the country. Well, he was speaking at a forum to address security challenges facing the nation in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, where he made suggestions on how to tackle the problem squarely.
The number one duty of any government in any place is the security and protection of life and property of its citizens. That has been the primary driver of everything that we have been doing since we came into office. We must, however, not rest on our laurels. We need to increasingly sensitize our constituents that security is not to be left to the government alone. Security is the business of every one of us. It is a sensitive issue that requires the robust participation of every single member of the society.
Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi. Well, let's take a look at some health issues now. One of Nigeria's anti-graft agencies, the ICPC, has spread its dragnet to the health sector as far as the war against corruption is concerned. The agency says it's noticed the unwholesome practices of some medical professionals who operate without proper certification and practice preferential treatment of patients, among other corrupt acts. At a meeting held in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, the agency vowed to rid the medical profession of corrupt individuals.
The standard of ethics seems to be crumbling down to a point of no return. It is in this light that we are building our binocular visuals today as medical practice and healthcare delivery services with the intent to dissect its internal and external functionalities and bring it back to its original state of integrity.
We need to remind ourselves of the acute nature of the problem and challenge ourselves to stand up and speak up with one voice against this particular vice that we call corruption, which is so endemic in all its ramifications in our own society. If we refuse to do that, we'll be putting our generation, this present generation, and those yet unborn in great jeopardy.
Still ahead on the news at 10, First Bank records impressive profits for the year ended December 31st, 2012. That's on Business News. Do join us again.
Finally.
With mobile number portability, you can make the switch to Airtel and still keep your original number. Move over to the network that works. Visit any Airtel shop or call 191 for details today. Smile, Nigeria. We've got you covered. Airtel, the best friends network.
Putting smiles on faces is what we do. Doesn't it feel good to move forward? Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Darling, I'm up for the interview.
Oh, this cough doesn't want to leave my family alone.
Having cough is bad enough. But even worse is when your cough syrup makes you do this. Or this.
Oga passenger, wake up, oh. Oga, come down. No change you. Motor partner. Since you passed my bus stop, my interview, this air cough syrup has killed me. Oh, Now, ordinary cough syrup you take. Now, make you sleep forget boy this. You for Kokoma take ZX.
Oga, not true.